Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and today I'm sharing with you 3 BeautyBay palettes. They are collaboration palettes. I recently shared them with you in my BeautyBay haul, so I can't wait to test those for you. In fact, I think what I'm going to do today is swatch all 3 and test one for you. Just to let you know what I'm wearing on my lips, and obviously everything will be listed down below. I'm wearing the NYX Professional Makeup Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Toulouse. And this is absolutely beautiful. Love this shade so much, and it works perfectly with this lipstick, which is the new Revolution matte lipstick in White Wedding. I can see why they chose the name for this shade, because it is a perfect wedding shade. It's pink, but it's not over the top. It's everyday wearable, and I am obsessed. I will link the video for that lipstick and sharing the rest of the, I think they're calling it a lip boutique, because they have released more formulas. So I'll link that down below, as well as my video where I shared these with you first. So it was my BeautyBay haul. So I'll link that down below as well, because I did pick up a few other things too. So this is the Saffron Barker for BeautyBay collaboration. Now, I'm not actually a big watcher or follower of Saffron Barker, but anything to do with BeautyBay eyeshadows, I just grabbed it basically. They were on offer. These actually retail for £20 each, or they did when they were first released about Christmas time, but they were actually on offer for £25 for all 3 palettes, so I had to pick them up. So let's get into this one. So get ready with me. Now the packaging is just beautiful. It's pink, it's gold, it's stunning. Love it. They all have the theme of animal prints, so love that. And then here you have a little bit of information. So you've got the BeautyBay logo, then of course it's Saffron Barker for BeautyBay, and then you have a few weight bits of information. So you're getting 6 pans at 1.5 gram or 0.05 ounces, and then you're getting 2 larger two larger pans at 4 grams of product or 0.14 ounce of product. Okay, so that's the front, and then on the back you have, again, obviously the Get Ready With Me eyeshadow and highlight palette. Then you have a little bit of information from Saffron herself and her signature. You also have the ingredients and that it is cruelty free. So that's the back. Now this is actually a sleeve, so I'll just take the palette out. And then also what you get in here, you get some stickers. So you get those stickers again along with that animal print theme with that palette. So let me just show you. The stickers actually match the outer packaging for this Get Ready With Me palette. So there is that, and then you'll see why they've sent you stickers. Now the palette is actually very simplistic, so it's this matte black packaging with B for BeautyBay there. So of course you could really, you know, make this palette your own with these stickers, or of course, if like me you love this simplicity, obviously you can leave it like that. And then on the back, very similar information, BeautyBay, Saffron Barker, it's made in Italy and cruelty free. So that's the actual palette. Then opening it up, you do have a mirror there, and annoyingly you do have these annoying sheets with the names on and the name of the palette. It's okay, but I prefer, and I've mentioned it obviously a few times, I prefer the names underneath the shade. Just makes it so much easier. And then this is the actual palette. Now this I think is beautiful as a neutral palette. It's just stunning. I love these neutral everyday palettes. It's just what suits me, what looks good, and you know, I love it. Plus you're getting these 2 shades here, so you're getting a highlighter, and then hopefully this is a bronzer. I'm going to be testing that out today. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to be testing out one face product anyway. I'm now going to swatch all of these, and then I'll move on to the next palette, the next one, and then I'll create an eye look. So as always, this is probably going to be a little bit of a long video. I'll probably do timestamps depending on the length of it, but you know, with as much information as this, it is going to be a little bit lengthy. So let's go through these shades. Now they look absolutely beautiful. I'm going to try and keep the swatches quite small so that I can fit everything on my arm. I just need to get a wipe. Okay, well that's swatched absolutely beautifully. So I think I'll do row by row. Okay, so the first row, so we have Saffy B is the first shade, and you can see that that is a shimmering bronzy gold. We then have So Extra, which again is a shimmer, and it's much more of a champagne gold. And then we have our first matte, which is called Autumn, which I believe is her middle name. So there's your first row there. So moving on to the second row, that black is nice. These mattes are incredible. Okay, so moving on to the second row, we have 24 Hour. Now, I'm not a big fan of black, but what I don't like is that black kind of, I don't know, it really sticks together and is really thick. This, I can already see that it is going to blend beautifully just by the swatch because of how it's swatched. So although yes, it's not a really thick black swatch, it's one of those black shades that is going to blend, and you don't want a black to just stay there and not move. The next shade is called No Limits, and again it's matte, it's beautiful. Love that kind of shade for the transition. And then we have this shade here called Slay. I think all of those shades are going to work beautifully together. So let's move on to the face products. So we have, I like that. Okay, so we have got Filtered, which is that, and that's definitely a bronzer, it's a matte shade. And then we have the highlight shade, which is called Cliche, which is like a champagne gold again. So absolutely beautiful, perfect palette for me, really, really love it. I could use that one today if I wanted. Then we move on to this one called Good Vibes Only. Again, another animal print. They're all animal prints. This one is again pink. I think this is more rose gold. Yeah, more rosy rose gold. Again, BeautyBay logo, exactly the same information and exactly the same apart from obviously the name of the palette. So all of the same information. Let me just slide that one out. Again, you have the stickers, but of course they're different. You've got Good Vibes Only with these. Again, the same packaging. And again, you get a mirror in here too. So let's have a look at these shades. Now these ones I think are a little bit of a mix of both palettes. So the first one was fairly neutral. The last one is quite pink, and this one seems to be a little bit of a mix. It's more sort of like peachy in toned, but it's not neutral as such, you know, like the first one, but it's not pink either. It's a little bit, like I said, a mix. Absolutely beautiful, and I really like this shade here. That one there, beautiful. Now in this one, it looks like you get two highlights rather than a, you know, a bronzer and a highlight. So you're getting two highlights. So if you love your highlights, you're going to love this one. So let's get onto the swatches with this one. Okay, let me just get the actual sheet round the right way so I can read it. Oh, that is so beautiful. That is gorgeous. If you haven't tried BeautyBay's eyeshadow formula yet, this would possibly be a really good way. I think I worked it out that the palettes were just under £8.50 or just over, something like that. So the first row you've got Ditzy, which is a gold bronze again, beautiful. It's not like a yellow gold, is it? It's absolutely stunning. Then we have the first matte, which is called Giggle. And then we have this beautiful shade, which is called Lit. And it really is, that is a beautiful lid or inner corner highlight shade, stunning. The next row, okay, so we have got Tomboy, which is this one, and that's a matte. They're going off on a slant, I'm afraid, to fit everything in. Then we have Ticklish, which is that beautiful mustard tone there, another matte. And then we have another matte, which is called Dreamer. So there are all of your eyeshadows. So we then move on to the highlights. Oh, that is gorgeous. And of course you could use the highlights as eyeshadow as well. So we've got this one, this first one is called Cheeky. That is beautiful, stunning. And then we move on to Frisky, which is that one there. So that's the whole of the palette there. Okay, so I'll just move that one out of the way and move on to the third one. So this one is called Love Affair. And I really do think that there is a beautiful mix of shades here, neutrals. If you love your neutrals, you're going to love this collection. Now again, you've got the animal print. So this is pink and like a even rosier gold this time, like a pink gold. And then on the back, the same information, apart from obviously, you know, the name of the palette has changed. Okay, so let's slide this one out. So again, you get some stickers like that. And then of course the palette is matte black. The only thing that changes is the name. So you do again get one of those sheets and a mirror, of course. And then these are your tones, so much more rosier. And in this one again, you get a bronzer and you also get a highlight. The highlight looks a lot lighter than we've seen, and this looks a little bit deeper than the other one that we've seen already. So again, let's do some swatches of this. And another thing that you could do is, obviously you don't have to keep to one palette. If you, like me, have picked up all three, you can mix and match. I've just found a very, very light shade that would work perfectly on the lid to set your base. So yeah, you can mix and match, of course. Okay, so this is your first row. So we've got Friend Zone. Now, you can hardly see it there, but it's like a very light pink matte. That is the one that I mentioned that you could set your base with. Then we have No Regrets, another matte, and then the last one on the first row is called Love Songs. So there's your first row. So moving on to the second row. This one has only got one shimmer to it for the eyes. Of course you've got the shimmer for the cheek as well. Now this second row you've got Breakup, which is a matte. There is your only eye shimmer in here called Sweet Pea. Beautiful, beautiful pink shimmer. And then the last shade is No String. So there are your eye shades there. So let's move on to the face shades, and the face shades are the other way around. In the other palette that had the face shades, you start off with that bronze shade, but in this one you start off with the highlight shade. Okay, so the first shade. The highlight shade is called Third Date, that one there. And then the last is called Honey, which actually very much reflects the shade there. So there's your third palette, that one there. There's the second one, and there is the first one. And you can see what I mean about that middle palette being a real mix of the third and the first. Okay, so there are all of your palettes swatched. So now what I'm kicking the table. Now what I've got to do is think, what do I want on my face? I think I'm going to go for Love Affair because I've got this beautiful pink lipstick on, and it's also got in there the face shade, so the bronzer and the highlight for me to test out. If you would like to see the other two palettes in action, then of course let me know. Also, I'd really love it. I'm thinking of doing another revisiting video over the next few days. If you would like me to revisit a certain palette that you've seen on my channel, then of course do let me know down below. Now I'm also using these BeautyBay brushes as well today. And I'm going to start off with this brush, which is that really big fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Honey. A little bit dusty when you pop your brush in. I'm going to lift the fringe up for now and then go in. I absolutely loved this this shade. Oh no, this brush, when I tested it out, and that shade actually works perfectly for me. Oh, love that. And I really like this brush. It blends in beautifully. I probably, because I've got the fringe, I probably don't even need to bronze my forehead, but I'm going to be taking the puppies out for a walk after this, so if my fringe does blow up, then of course my forehead is perfectly bronzed. I'm just going to pop that behind my ear for now, so then I can hold the palette. If you would like some new brushes, I would certainly recommend the BeautyBay brushes. I don't know if the offer is still on, but if you purchase one of their Colour Theory palettes, you can actually pick up this whole brush set for free if you purchase 2 of those. And they are worth £25, so an absolute bargain. Oh, I just love it. It really does just buff that on so nicely. I need quite a bit of colour, I think. I'm looking, like I said, very, very flat just with the foundation on. And it's a beautiful sunny day here in Norfolk, so nice to have a little bit of bronzer on to make you feel like you have caught the sun, even though I will never catch the sun. Okay, just building that up. It's very subtle, and this brush really helps with that, but I personally like just a little bit of a heavier bronzer. But yeah, I think once you get very, very burnt, when I was in my late teens, I got so burnt on my knees. It was just dreadful. So I vowed never ever to get burnt like that again. And I'm also always very, very careful in the sun now. Okay, so that took a while to build that up, but it's only because I think with the NYX fan brush that I use, it's quite a heavier application, and that one is a lot softer. Really, really love it though. I'm also going to apply blush. Now the blush that I'm going to be applying is from Primark, and it is the PS blush, high pigment blusher. I have used a few of these, and this one is in the shade Desire. They're £1.50 and they've changed the actual patination inside. Oops, if I can open it. There we go. Like that. Really, really love it. Obviously I won't talk about this too much because I'm talking about these palettes, but I've been wearing these a little bit. I'm using the oval brush. Now they do mention that this is for setting your powder under the eye and on your face, but to be honest, I don't like the blush brush. I prefer this. This is an angled blush brush, but I much prefer it as a contour. So I'm just going to apply the blush with this brush. Oh. I thought when I saw this in Primark this would actually be a little bit too light, but it's not, it's beautiful. Now I'm applying a little bit of blush only because I do feel that I'm quite pale today. I'm still not feeling 100%. The ear rake has now moved on to the other ear, which is not fun, but you know, I'm carrying on. And I'm going in now with that angled blush brush and going into the shade Honey again, and I'm just going to deepen up if I can. I found this brush actually quite difficult to use. I think you've got to get the angle right, and I know this is not contour, but personally I don't like you know, a contour. I just like to use a little bit of the bronzer and then deepen it up. That's what I like. So just going in with that big fluffy brush just to blend that out. Okay, really like that. That all looks beautiful. Now I want to use the highlight, so that third date shade. Again, this is another brush that I'm getting used to, and it's the fan brush. I always use the Revolution Flex brush, the highlighter one, and that really does, it's the brush that I'd always search for my highlight. So I've always wanted to try a fan brush, but it's something that I'm having to get used to. So I'm just going to go into third date. Again, when you put the brush in, very powdery. So let's, ooh, wow, okay. That is beautiful. The only thing is that I'm not a big fan of, you know, a streak of highlights. I'm going to use that powder brush just to blend that in slightly, and just pop that on the other side. You won't be able to see it as well this side. Oh, beautiful though. I prefer, when I apply my highlight, I just prefer it to have a very, I suppose I can do it with this brush. You know, I like it to be dispersed. I just don't like that streak on my cheek much. But yeah, that's worked beautifully. I don't also feel I've got enough bronzer on this side. That's better. I might have to blend it in with my foundation brush, which I didn't bring. I thought I could do everything with those brushes, but that's fine. Okay, so that's the cheek products applied. In fact, it's not, because I want to put highlights elsewhere actually. That is beautiful. I must admit this works better on the nose, this fan brush, because I find if you have a dense brush it does take some of the foundation off, but actually that has worked beautifully. Oh, love that. Okay, lift the fringe again, distributed the highlight on my forehead very, very nicely. Love that. Okay, so I may have found a use for that fan brush. Love that. Okay, now for the eyeshadow. And again, I'm going to be using these eye brushes from the BeautyBay collection. Here we go. I'll just show you the brow brush as well. These I really loved. Now, of course, I'm obsessed with the Primark PSI contour brush, and I know that you are too because you tell me. But it's always nice to test other brushes out and see if something else can work just as well. And I've really found some good staples from here. So first of all, I'm going to use the fluffy brush. I'll just remind you of the palette and which shades that I'm going to be using. So of course it's like that. So I've used these two on my face so far. So these are what I'm working with today. And I'm going to go in with Friend Zone first of all, which is that very pale shade, and just set my base. I can already tell that these are the same as those Colour Theory palettes. Okay, I'm going to go in with now. So I used this one to start with. I'm now going to go in with this one here. So that one there. And that one is called No Strings. Oh, really pigmented. Right. Okay, well, it's blending out beautifully. I would say that the BeautyBay eyeshadows are definitely in my top, I would say top 3 formulas that I love. I use them all the time. At the weekend when I didn't do any videos at all, they are the palettes that I reached for. I just love them so much, and they're so versatile, and their palettes have everything that you want in them, whether you like bright eyeshadow, neutral, you know, you've got it all. There's something for everybody. Stunning. Stunning first shade. I really like that. I was actually, out of the 3, this was my palette that I was a little bit concerned about, because I like pink. Obviously I'm wearing everything pink, I love it, but I tend to find that pink on the eye can be a little bit overwhelming, and you've said that to me as well. You know, sometimes some of you can't wear pink on the eyes at all, so I think to bring out a palette that's got this kind of a base shade, which is just a stunning shade, is just amazing. I love it. It's not over the top pink, doesn't make you look like you've got an infection in your eyes and that your eye is sore. It's just beautiful, and how it applies is very, oh, it just looks stunning. Just blends. Love it. And I love that brush as well. Okay, now I'm going to move into the crease, and I'm going to move on to the shade Breakup, which is this one here. Again, picks up a lot of product. You hardly have to dip the brush in at all. Now I'm just going to pop it through the crease and then just take it up a little bit, see what that does. Gorgeous. I thought that there was going to be no brush at all that could, because I find it very, very difficult to use other brushes. because I am so used to, and I love using that eye contour brush. So for me to use, you know, another brush is a big deal, and find another one that I can use, especially a second time round, because you'll know then that I like it. If I use something first, don't go back to it, then you know that I do like it when I used it, but I'm not grabbing for it again. So I'm using these for the second time, so you know that I'm really liking it, and stunning. This is just big enough, this brush. It's a round topped brush, and it's just big enough to get into my crease, and it's also quite dense, but not too dense, that it doesn't blend out. Obviously I don't want it too blown out because I want the intensity of the shade, but you know, it just works. Love that so much. So I'm trying not to look up. I tend to find that a lot of the time I will not look up, but I'll raise my eyebrows, and that will then give me the wrong place for my eyeshadow. So just lately I've been trying not to raise my eyebrows. What I will also say is that the BeautyBay eyeshadows really give me a professional feel with my eyeshadow looks. Love that. Okay, there's no fallout whatsoever underneath. That has really intensified the crease, but I've also still got that base shade going on there. Okay, I think what I'm going to do now is just add, I'm going to move on to another brush because I want to try out another couple of shades, and I think I'm going to go in with is that yeah, that's a shimmer. In fact, I think I mentioned actually that there was only one shimmer here, but just looking at it, taking off the top and putting it in the light, that one there, which is No Regrets. So No Regrets is, I wouldn't say that it's a shimmer, it's in between a matte and a shimmer. Your all out shimmer is that Sweet Pea. So yeah, you have got another one with a sheen. I might use that on the lid actually. I'm going to go in with Love Songs and see what that one does. So Love Songs is this one here. See what that adds to the look in the crease. And on the lid there. It's a lighter version to Breakup. Love that. Now again, I'll just show you a close-up. So this is a close-up of the actual mattes. Now looking at this looks like a very pink toned eyeshadow palette, sorry. And but I haven't got, you know, I haven't got a really out there pink look. It doesn't look like I've got an eye infection, so this is really good. So far, so good. Okay, now we're going to go underneath, I think, and I'm just cleaning off that brush again, which is flat but rounded, and I'm going to go into the fair shade, so No Strings. And then I'll do the shimmer. Whoops. Try not to poke myself in the eye. probably needed to use this one actually, the fluffy brush that I used to start with. Let's have a look, 'cause I want this to be quite blown out, this shade. That's better. Lovely, because I want it to be quite blown out and not too tight under the eye with that first shade. And then I'm going to go in with Third Date onto the flatter brush and try and keep that close to the lash line as I possibly can. Like that. I'm just going to go back to the fluffy brush. Just blend that out. Beautiful. Okay, now move on to the lid shade. So I'm going to go in with No Regrets first of all. That pink is like a velvet, I suppose. It's not shimmery, but it's not matte. And see what that looks like. I think it matches the lipstick nearly perfectly. Gorgeous. Because it's not a full-on shimmer, I'm having to build it up, but it is easily buildable. 2 or 3, you know, and you're done basically. 2 or 3 little swipes. Oh, gorgeous look so far. Okay, then I'm going to do exactly what I did with this brush. I suppose you can use it for your brow brush. I've got a brow brush that I absolutely love. It's primed. It's the one that I use every day. So this is what I'm going to use for the inner corner. So I'm going in to Sweet Pea. Wow, that is intense. That is gorgeous. Oh, love that. Gorgeous. You can build it up. Love that. Now for the other eye. Okay, so that is the actual, that highlighter is so dusty. Okay, so that is the look using the Love Affair palette. So that's the matte. Now, not matte, that's the eye look done. I don't know what I'm talking about again today. And that is the cheek. I still feel that it's a little bit, with my face brush, I feel that it's a little bit light this side. That's better. Okay, now I'm going to add the accessories, so eyeliner. It's the usual, and I'll list it down below. And then the mascara, again, it's the usual, and again, I'll list it down below. think also the shimmers on the lid, I've done it so that it's the lightest, so Sweet Pea on the inner corner, but I think you could really do a beautiful look with Sweet Pea near enough all over the lid, and then the deeper shade, which is No Regrets there. But actually that No Regrets looks stunning. It's got a little bit of a sheen, just gorgeous, and I'll give you a close-up. So that is the eye and cheek look finished and completed using the Love Affair palette. Of course, I've swatched. There's Love Affair. There's that one there, which is called, what was that one called? Good Vibes Only. So Love Affair, Good Vibes Only, and then Get Ready With Me. So I'd love to know which one is your favourite. What do you think of the eye look? I'm absolutely obsessed with these brushes. Obsessed. They are gorgeous. They washed up incredible. The foundation brush came up really clean, which I always have an issue with. So did the eye brushes. Gorgeous, and they blend the eyeshadow like a dream. It helps that BeautyBay's eyeshadows are so gorgeous. Now I know, of course, it's another long video, and apologies, but just lately I've had so much to get through, so much to show you, and I know if you're a regular viewer that you enjoy my longer videos. So yeah, I'd really like to know which is your favourite palette. What do you think of the eye look, and are you going to be picking any of these up? Like I said, these are on offer at the moment for £25 for all three, and I think they're £10 on their own. So basically you're getting buy two get one for half price at that sale price, but they were £20 each, so £60 down to 25 for all three is a really good deal, especially with the quality from those eyeshadows and highlights and face products. Yeah, I got it right. Okay, so I'd love to know your thoughts. Of course, if you are brand new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe to watch further videos. I would also love it if you let me know which palette you would like me to revisit that you've already seen on my channel. Obviously the one that gets the most comments, I will be filming with that one. Or of course, if I don't get any comments about the palettes, then of course I will just choose one, and that video will be shown over the next few days. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until tomorrow, thank you so much. Bye.